talk about the factors of why he should or could do either or leave or stay in Toronto. What would you do? Now we're gonna talk about what would we do individually if we were Kawhi Leonard. So what would you do if you were Kawhi Leonard?
What I would do if I was Kawhi Leonard, um, like he's like putting everything like to the side, home, contract, team. What I would do is something similar to what LeBron did after he won the championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I would re up with the Raptors just to run it back again to see if he could do back to back championship, kind of like a 2 year deal with the player option, and see what's available next year in the free agent market. Just for his competitive spirits. Because look, I understand, the whole thing with the weather, Los Angeles, being his home, but the guy, he has the resources available. Like if he's homesick, he can get to Los Angeles or wherever he's from, San Diego. I think it's San Diego that he's from, like like that, like easily.
Yeah.
He's gonna spend the whole off season there. He likes the people that he's there, in the city. I think he could sacrifice 1 year. And in addition, uh, the cap, the NBA cap is gonna go up significantly next year. So from a financial aspect, it's gonna benefit Kawhi. To at least come back to Toronto at least 1 year to see if they could run it back and repeat as back-to-back champs.
Okay.
So I would do that. If I were Kawhi personally, because I know you brought up the fact with the New York Knicks. Look, the New York Knicks, man, they've been a dumpster fire of a franchise. For like
For
their
like
whole
20
life.
years, yeah.
They haven't been relevant since the late '90s, maybe early '90s, and even then, they haven't been able to get that mountaintop, and they arguably have one of the worst owners in the NBA in James Dolan. You know,
Hmm.
while you're looking the other way around, Toronto, they got arguably one of the best executives in Masai Ujiri. Which he was able to build that squad, and that's what I would do personally. I would stay with the Toronto Raptors, try and run it back for at least 1 year. If it doesn't work out the way how you wanted it to work, hey, you're a free agent again. You'll be able to pick your options.
All right. I agree with that. I would actually do something similar. If I was Kawhi Leonard right now, wherever he is now, vacationing, chilling, thinking on all this, I would be thinking of signing a 2 year deal with the Toronto Raptors, and mainly it would be more for a financial sense. Where if he were to become a free agent by 2021, he becomes a 10-year free agent vet. And
Yep.
as a 10-year free agent he could sign significantly more with a new contract after that. So that would be the first thing I would think of, whether it's with Toronto or another team. But I would choose Toronto as well because, like you said, it would give him a chance to do the back to back, which is a way higher chance to win back to back than three-peating. So it's more realistic. And if you were to if he were to win back to back championship for the Toronto Raptors, wow, like not only would Canada go crazy, but I think the world would just go wild for this guy. Because right now he's not a hated superstar. Right now he's like probably one of the most beloved superstars I've seen in recent sports history. Like there's nobody that's hating on Kawhi. Everyone has a very positive like attitude
It's
towards him.
tough. It's tough to hate on that guy unless if like obviously he has something personal, like a bias against him.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
speaking to you, San Antonio. I'm
yeah.
speaking
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
or
but like the whole "what it do, baby," the laugh. Like
uh,
people might make fun of him, but they're not just laughing at him. They laugh with him. They respect the crap out of the guy for him being the Finals MVP, not joining the super team. He carries the teams that he's in.
you know what? Like, in addition, if you ask his peers, the guy doesn't talk. The guy just plays.
Oh, I
You
mean
know,
that's probably I think that's another reason why he has
it,
such a positive affiliation by the public. It's like he doesn't run his mouth more than necessary.
he
And I think a
just
lot of older folks might like that. I like that too as a younger person, but like I think a lot of older folks are more
he just lets his game do all the talking, and the guy seems
yeah,
like a
and that's very
genuine.
respectable.
Guy seems like a genuine good dude, and it's tough to hate on something like that.
Yeah. And then so yeah, because of that I would just man, I forgot what I was saying before this. But
He said he was gonna that Kawhi is gonna sign through sign and trade with the Miami Heat.
okay.
Okay, no.
Now, see, if I was Kawhi, I wouldn't sign with the Heat. Well, if I was Kawhi and not myself. But yeah, I would do the 2 year thing for the 10 year vet thing, like I said, and then I would actually it would also give me more time. Not only gives me the option to win a back to back, but it would give him the option to also analyze. Okay, this free agency, everything's up in the air.
Yep.
So like everything's so confused that you don't know what team you should join. So at least if you give it a year to two of staying in Toronto, you get to macro observe the whole league and how everything plays out. Because like, what if LeBron and Anthony Davis doesn't have great chemistry, and you see the Lakers implode again in this coming year? Then you're like, why would I join that team? And then say Kyrie and KD were to join a team together, then that would give you a year to two to observe how they play out. So then at least a year to two, where not 40% of the league is up as free agents, it'll give you a more patient, more calm approach to like, okay, what team do I really want to join after Toronto, after my year to 2 year contract expires. So yeah, that's what I would do if I was Kawhi. And that concludes our segment on Kawhi Leonard. We just have to focus on it because like I tweeted this before, this year, the 2018 to 2019 NBA season should be known as the Kawhi year because he dominated the entire season. In the beginning, he gave us a classic soundbite with his laugh. At the end, he gave us a national slogan with "What It Do, Baby." On top of that, he won a championship for a franchise. He took a franchise to the finals for the first time, won a championship for them for the first time, won a championship for the first time in a country that's not the United States, so a championship outside the US for the first time. And he won an NBA Finals MVP, and he got joined into a very specific group of players that have won NBA Finals MVP on two different teams. So
and stop 2 3-peat attempts.
and yeah, 2 3-peat attempts and ended 3 dynasty Spurs, Heat, and Warriors. So like the end of this decade, Kawhi just freaking took over. And as always, I don't know. I don't know how to end it.
Hey, don't worry, I got you. All right, so you guys already know. This is your host, Andrade. This is Erwin. Ball Talk Deep. Where we talk deep
About ball.
You already know.
Take
Peace.
care.